The Vulcan Vault, along with some very special guests, are on a search for forgotten horror flicks and underappreciated monster movies. Ain't It Cool News presents Ain't It Scary Reviews, a month-long exploration of terror.
Welcome to Ain't It Scary Reviews. I'm John Airy, and today we got a very special guest, Zach Carlson, producer of The American Scream and writer of Destroy All Movies. Zach, thanks so much for coming in.
I feel great.
What you got for us today?
I'm very excited to share with everybody this movie, Xtro, X-T-R-O. It is not a word, but it is an incredible movie, and I think it is the most underappreciated horror movie that I have ever seen. I'm very certain about this. I champion this movie at every opportunity, so thank you for letting me do so today.
Now, what makes this movie so great?
It has more ideas in it than any movie is ever allowed to have, and I know that new ideas are really unpopular in horror these days, so I hope that this doesn't offend anybody, but this is a movie that has ambition and creativity and all of the things that movies do not have anymore. So I'm very, very excited that this movie even exists, and I'm also glad that they had it at this video store so I could recommend it to you today. It is so violent and misanthropic and hateful and bleak, but so fun and hilarious and creative at the same time. And I think that's a rare combination. So usually movies that have so much darkness in them and like so much hopelessness are going to leave you feeling dreary, but this film also has a 6-foot-tall army guy stabbing an old woman under a couch. So like, it has everything you could ever want from a movie, including the reality that life has no purpose and there is no God.
I'm sold. So what is this about, roughly?
Xtro was released in the post-Alien world, so it was an era where people kind of were starting to assume that almost any independent production was going to be aping a larger studio production. So Xtro got written off as another post-Alien movie. Like this, oh, okay, it's like that Ridley Scott crap, you know, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that Xtro was nothing like that. It was just marketed with a combination of E.T. and alien imagery, which was a huge error because then all the critics were just ready to disregard it and just kick it away. But what it's actually about is a kid is playing with his dad. The dad gets stolen by an alien spacecraft and then returned in the most hideous, disgusting scene ever, returned to the Earth, and kind of falls into this really uncomfortable domestic issue where the dad sort of wants custody of his son back, but he's also an alien that eats snake eggs and you know, murders people. Tony! But he's basically looking to do a custody battle with his ex-wife while he's transforming into this hideous creature. And then there's all of this telekinesis, and there's all kinds of just insanity that's happening. And it just gets more and more brutal and outrageous and impossible as the movie goes.
Now, what is, for you, the scariest part about Xtro?
Well, gosh, that's a good question. There's the most unsettling part of the movie to me is when the dad kind of covertly sneaks into his son's bedroom to take his snake's eggs, and he breaks them in his hand and licks the gray goo off of his palm. And watching that scene in a theater with other people, like you can smell the nausea as it rises up in people for whatever reason. But then there's these massive scenes of violence and just discomfort that are really, really rough. For me, the scariest part is when the alien's ex-wife sort of starts giving in to him emotionally, and you know that something horrible is going to happen, and it gets really uncomfortable. But the single grossest scene in the movie, which I would like to spotlight, and hopefully you can use the footage online without being arrested, is towards the beginning when the alien returns to Earth. He doesn't just do it by landing in a little tiny spaceship, but he is reborn through a woman. So a full-size man comes out of a regular-sized woman's womb, and she does not feel good after that. So that scene is incredibly rough and really so well handled that by the time he's biting through his own umbilical cord, like half of the audience had their hands over their faces. Like, it was really incredible. And the fact that that scene passed with an R rating means that some people were sleeping at the ratings board.
Awesome. All right, so the movie today, Xtro.
Correct.
fantastic. Zach, thanks so much, man. And for more news and reviews, keep checking in with ain'titcool.com.